Awesome. Thanks so much, Derek. I'll start us off and then pass it over to Edmund. So, guys, I am so grateful to be a part of this Replace Your University team. I've been working with Michael Lush for the last, I think it's been about 6 years now. It's been one of the best partnerships I've ever had in my life. What I love about Michael Lush and this team and Replace Your Mortgage is I like to say they help you get your house pregnant, right? You get a HELOC, suddenly you realize you have access to $100,000, $150,000, right? Rather than just paying off your house, what I like to recommend is you got your house pregnant. Now let's create some baby houses. Let's get some baby houses coming out and even grandchildren houses, right? The idea is that your HELOC can be the down payment for several rental properties. And then imagine getting HELOCs on those rental properties, and it just goes down the line, and suddenly you have just all kinds of equity built up and all kinds of passive income coming in. So that's my ultimate goal working with Michael Lush and with the Replace Your University team, is to help you to, if you want to replace your employer, to get out of your job like Edmund did, and like I did. And there's two main paths to do that. Let me just share a little whiteboard thing here. So to replace your employer, some of you may love your job and you may not want to be out of it. I think those are probably the minority, but even if you just do real estate as a side thing, that's phenomenal. And it can be a huge profitable side gig. But a lot of you are like, man, I just want out. Let me out of this. And if that's you, I'm going to show you two paths to replace your employer. You can either do it with flipping or wholesaling properties. Okay. So what that looks like is, let's say your income is $150,000 a year. Okay. So what you need to do, your first goal is going to be to replace your income with real estate income. I never tell people just quit their job and go do real estate. You need to, people can do this with 10 hours a week. Okay. 10 hours a week is all you need at the beginning. To find, I tell people spend 5 hours listening to education and 5 hours of finding properties and doing deals. Okay. So let's say you're making 150,000. Now you're going to go ahead and let's say that my average flip profit is around 50 grand, right? So if I'm making 50 grand to flip, how many houses do I need to replace my income? Well, obviously 3, right? So once I've got 3 houses, and if the projections are good, I would probably wait until some of them actually sell to make sure that I'm actually making some money before I cut my ties to the employer, right? But think about that. That's not that hard. I mean, really, I've helped so many people to do way more than that in their first year. I had Alan Groves, he was doing 1 a month for his first year. So 3 is not unreasonable. In fact, Alan just made his biggest profit. He made $320,000 on 1 flip. So anyway, so 50 isn't out of the question, right? But 3 houses that you flip at $50,000 profit, you've replaced your income. So why not replace the employer and make yourself the employer? Be your own boss. That's when life gets really exciting, when you have that freedom and that flexibility to just go do what you want to do when you want to do it. I define financial freedom as do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, and for how long you want. For me, for example, I spent 3 months in 2019 on family vacation. 3 months. We went to 14 different countries. It was incredible. So whatever financial freedom looks like for you, you can pursue that through real estate, and replace your mortgage gets you started with that by getting you access to equity. Now, the other path that you can replace your employer is through rentals. And I'm, by the way, I'm doing a workshop right now. Emin and I are doing a workshop on flipping. We're just 2 weeks into a 10-week workshop. You're welcome to still join us. We've got a lot of interest. We've had 170, 180 people jump in, because everyone wants, why wouldn't you want to replace your employer and be your own boss, right? So
Nate, just real quick, just as a heads up, in order to join that, we will drop a link. Edmund, if you could drop that link in the chat for anybody who needs to join that, that would be, or give instructions in the chat. That would be good. So that way they have that.
Yep.
Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, so thanks, Derek. So another way that you can replace your employer is through rentals, right? So let's just say if you have your same $150,000 income, what you can do is you can find rentals in your area and what the income is making on rentals in your area. And then let's just say, for example, so 150,000, let's see what's your monthly need to be. So you divide 150 by 12 and you get, essentially you need to be making about 12,500 per month, right? To be able to replace your income. So 12,500 per month. Let's just say the average gross income of rentals in your area is $1,000. So essentially you would need about 13 properties. So get your house pregnant and then get started and buy your 13 rental properties that are creating essentially $1,000 a month each of passive income. Now, here's the cool thing is that if you wanted to start with some flips to get out of your job fast and then focus on rentals, because sometimes flipping can start feeling like a job because you're having to go and find new deals all the time and manage contractors. It's a fun job, but eventually you could start here, flip a couple houses, get out of fire your boss, say, hey, it just costs me too much to be working for you, I'm sorry. And then you could take some of the profits. One of the things we taught about last night, which we're going to rebroadcast, is the flip to rent one kind of method, where you can take the profit from one to live your dream life, the profit from the next is a down payment on a rental, and then slowly build up this rental portfolio to 13 or whatever your financial freedom goal is. Then ultimately, you're going to use the replace your mortgage strategy to pay off all these rentals, to get rid of all the mortgages. So that way your cash flow is going to go up and you're going to be making that, $12,500 a month. And it happens faster than you would think.
It does. I mean, so this is literally the pathway that I went down when I first learned about, getting involved in real estate investing. So Nate, that's awesome. I appreciate you showing everybody the two different pathways that people can go down to replace your employer. It is very real. And guys, for those of you who don't really know my backstory, I was an assistant principal. I was in the education field for 15 years. I was a special education teacher helping at-risk kids. And then I was also an assistant principal. Throughout that time, I loved my job. I loved working with the people that were around. But, my wife had our second son, and it really made me kind of look at things and take a closer look at, like, what am I doing with my life, right? I'm spending 60, 70-hour work weeks, and I'm barely ever home. And the next step was to become principal. And I knew becoming a principal, you're even going to spend more time in the building, okay? So I remember specifically one day putting my shirt and tie on and saying, okay, something's got to change, right? There's got to be a better way. And that's when I went to Michael Lush and I said, Michael, like, I've been a client of yours. I've been helping you with discovery calls. Like, I love it. But what do I got to do to be an entrepreneur? And Michael said, what are you interested in? I said, I've been interested in real estate, but I just don't know where to start. And that's when Michael introduced me to Nate. And, when I first talked to Nate, I wasn't sure, what, if I really wanted to go down that road. But then I met Nate and we had our discovery call together and realized, like, okay, this is the pathway that I really want to go down. And in a very short time, in literally 6 months, I was able to replace my income using the flip strategy that Nate was talking about, give my resignation, and now I am my own boss. Okay, I own my own real estate business. Flipping homes, wholesaling homes. I've acquired, multiple rental properties, 2 vacation homes, in a very short period of time. So I've been with Nate going on year 3 right now. I've completed about 30 real estate transactions. So this whole thing is very real. And that is why, we created Replace Your Employer. Okay. So what I would like to do is kind of share with you the Replace Your Employer side of things. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, so this is, our literally you sign in, you're going to see the multiple pathways, and you can come over here and click on Replace Your Employer, or you can just come right up here, click on the members dashboard and go to Replace Your Employer. All right. So just like the rest of the pathways that a person can go down, we have free material for everyone. Okay. And we also have the advanced course, which most people will pay for. However, the beginning material, right? This is an interactive ebook, and a lot of the times, Nate and I are doing a boot camp currently, and what we do is people will have to go back to this ebook, right? And in the ebook, you have all these different chapters that we're going to reference, right? So Nate wrote a wonderful ebook, and we use this as basically our homework for you to go back and study. Okay, so the ebook is extremely important. If you haven't, went through the ebook yet, definitely go ahead and read this interactive ebook and check out the chapters. All right. The other part of this is the boot camp side of things. Okay, so we will periodically, Nate and I will do boot camps, and that's what the intermediate course is about. Okay, so if you click on Access Course, you have literally 7 lessons, right? We did a 7-week boot camp in the summer, and we take that and we put it in here for you guys for free, right? There's a ton of information in here for free to learn about real estate investing. Okay. So every time we do boot camps, we might either replace this one with newer ones or continue to add that information into the intermediate course, again, which is totally free. All right. But this is where it gets really good. Okay. Let me drop this down. So this is where it gets really good, because you can do real estate on your own, right? I highly recommend obviously getting a proper education and a mentor, and that's what we're going to talk about next. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll get on YouTube University and think they can figure this out on their own, and what happens is it ends up becoming very costly for them. Okay, so what we have done is we've created a one-stop shop. All right, Nate and I have created a one-stop shop for you, and it is the Replace Your Employer Premium course. Okay. All you're going to do is you're going to click on Unlock the Training. But what this does is describe the course, because I'm going to take you to another platform here in a minute, right? This kind of goes through, kind of what the course is. But the most important part of this advanced training over here is to schedule a call with me. Okay. So go to this, schedule a call with me, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you behind the scenes on what all of this looks like. Okay, we give everybody a free opportunity to be on our team for Replace Your Employer for an entire week to even see if this is something that you want to do. Okay. You might not even be sure if real estate's right for you, right? And we need to make sure you're right for the team, right? You got to have the right mindset. There's specific qualities that we're looking for in an individual to make sure that you are successful. Okay. So go ahead, go to the advanced course, book a call with me. And then what it's going to do is we are on the call. We are going to go over the 3 components, all right, that will change your life forever. Okay. And what it looks like is the 3 components are education, marketing, and support. Okay. Those are the 3 things that you need to be a successful real estate investor. And we provide that for you for an entire week free so you can see what it's like. Okay. And the education side of it, we're going to come down here and there's like 14 different learning pathways that a person can go down. But during that free week, we are going to open up this essentials pathway for you and give you access to 10 classes. Each one of these classes are 3 to 5 hours in length. Okay. They are very detail oriented. And what you're going to do is you're not going to try to learn everything. Okay. You're just going to go through and get a feel for what the quality of the education is like. Okay. So we'll recommend a couple of classes. You're going to go through, you're going to ask yourself the questions. Is this giving me the information that I need? Okay. Can I learn by watching these educational videos, or am I falling asleep? Right. You're going to know within 24 or 48 hours after watching these classes whether or not this is for you, because you're either going to be pumped like I was because I was ready to change my life, or you're going to be falling asleep and you're going to realize that this might not be for you. All right. That's totally fine. That's what this opportunity is about. It's about finding out if you are ready to become a real estate investor. And if you are, at the end of the 7 days, we literally show you how to move forward with us and how to pay for all this to where you don't even need to use your money out of your pocket. None of your money out of your pocket. We're going to show you how the banks will pay for this for you and how the bank is going to make your payment. Okay. This is all what I want you to do is get your mindset around you are building a business. Every business needs a capital injection. And that is what we're going to show you how to do on a call with us. But if you decide to move forward, it's going to open up all these other learning pathways. There's over 500 hours of content. Okay. You want to be you'll meet with Nate at the end of 7 days and you'll determine whether or not you want to go down the fix and flip pathway, if you want to do the rental pathway, vacation homes, wholesaling. You'll learn that when you have your conversation with Nate at the end of 7 days. But here it is. You got the fix and flip route. You're going to learn how to manage your business, buy and hold, so your rental properties. You want to learn multifamily? Here you go, right? You want to get involved in commercial? Here you go. There's an entire pathway for commercial. Retiring in real estate, you can set all this up to where you literally retire in real estate, hard assets, okay? Short sales, foreclosures. Here's how you'll use your education. No one's going to go through and learn all 500 hours of this, okay? You're going to come back to each of these pathways and learn more. So like right now, given everything that's going on, I'm learning all my short sales and foreclosures because I know that they're coming, right? So don't stress out thinking you got to learn all 500 hours. You don't. We're going to narrow it down to 1 or 2 pathways for you, but you will have access to all of this, right? Wealth acceleration, property management. You want to get involved in real estate investing. You do not want to be the person managing your properties unless you absolutely love that sort of thing. But this gentleman right here is going to teach you how to manage everything, right? With a property manager. Wholesaling. This is what I fell in love with. I do wholesaling all the time. Absolutely amazing way to get involved in real estate investing with zero money out of pocket. And all you're doing is working with paper. You're getting properties under contract and you're assigning your rights to that contract over to other individuals, right? Other investors, short-term rentals, vacation homes. Love it, right? Instead of being the person that's paying for vacation homes, find the places that you want to go and love and get rental properties there, right? And when you and your family now go on vacations, other people are paying for it for you because they're renting it out. And every time you go on a trip, guess what? It's a tax write-off. Every time you want to go on vacation, it's a tax write-off, okay? And then you have all your bonus material, right? There's a lot of bonus stuff that's included. But this is the education, okay? Over 500 hours of it, multiple different pathways that you can go down, okay? This is what I did, all right? I moved forward with this education. This education is phenomenal, All right. But we don't stop there, right? We don't stop there, because guess what else you need? You need to be able to find deals. That's the hardest part to this. And that's where most of the other companies stop. All right. The other companies out there will say, hey, you're supposed to go door knocking, put bandit signs in front yards, and that's how you'll get leads. Nah, not anymore. And I'm not a tech savvy guy, and this thing works great. Okay. So what this is, it's called the Bernardus Ios System. This is our marketing system. This is how we find our deals. Okay. It's a system that collects data across the country. And it collects data on distressed properties. How does it do that? Through public record. Someone's going through a divorce, public record. Someone's going through a foreclosure, public record. All of that is public record. Behind on your taxes, all of it, public record. This system will search it, okay? All you do is come over here to lead pipes, premium, property leads, and you just type in your zip code, and we give you access to this. On the call with me, we will look for deals in your area. Just for conversational sake, I'm going to use the area, which is Newcastle County. I'm going to use a zip code. We can search zip code, county, state, all that. And these are the different types of leads. Well, if you're like, well, what's an absentee owner? I never heard of that. You click on the question mark. It gives you the definition, and it tells you how this company has collected and identified this property as just a distressed property. So these are the ones that I click on all the time. Absentee owner, delinquent tax activity, free and clear, board investor, potentially inherited and pre-foreclosures. These are my favorite because it's a sense of urgency to sell. These are my biggest money makers. All right, keep it simple, looking for individuals, not looking for apartments, but you can. All right, just keep it simple for this conversation. And you click search and watch what happens. All right, over here in the right-hand side, 6,434 potential distressed properties in that one zip code alone. If you can't find a deal out of 6,000, you're doing something wrong. This is where the light bulb went off for me. I now had a clear vision of how I was going to find these properties. Okay. But guess what? It doesn't stop there. Let's look at this one, 435 Park Avenue. Look, delinquent tax activity, pre-foreclosure. Great. You're going to click on it. It's going to give you an aerial view of where this property is. It's going to show you loans on this property. There's no loans on this property. You always want to verify that, right? But more importantly, look on the left-hand side. I now have the owner's name and a mailing address, okay? So all I'm going to do is I'm literally going to click on, what I typically do is select all. I select all of them. I don't know who's going to call me back. I need to market to these people. So I'm not going to waste time going through and trying to analyze every deal. And then all you come up here, you click save my leads, and then you click on mailers. Guess what's going to happen? This system automatically sends out all the mailers that you need to these properties. Okay. And they're already designed based on what the type of distressed property is. For example, this is a foreclosure, avoid foreclosure. Don't let the banks take your home, destroy your credit. We can buy your home as is, commission free. It's got my business information on here. All these mailers will go out. These are designed for you. The verbiage is done. You don't need to do any work, but click submit the button and these mailers will go out. Okay. So all the mailers will go out and you'll get like a 2 to 3% response rate. And then here's the third part of this, right? I'm putting all the pieces of the puzzle together for you, is support. Okay. When you get the information, all you do is use the script that Nate gives you and collect that information and bring it over to the deal room. Every Tuesday and Thursday, Nate and I run the deal room at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We send you a Zoom link. And this is where we're going to analyze deals, guys. All right. This is where we're going to analyze deals together. And by the time you leave the deal room, you are going to know what your maximum allowed offer can be, all right, in order to go back and get the property under contract using a specific strategy. It's called Ready, Fire, Aim. I highly recommend going to the book and reading the chapter on Ready, Fire, Aim. It's a game changer when it comes to real estate investing. Okay, so that is where all the support is at, right? That is where Nate and I will analyze deals. But guess what? The biggest question is, where do I find money for these deals? How do I use other people's money for these deals? Inside of these deals, inside the deal room on Tuesday and Thursday, guess who's in there? Nothing but replace your mortgage clients. Okay. Now, Nate has some friends and family in there, but there's a ton of replace your mortgage clients in there. It's essentially who this is for. Guess what they have access to? Equity in their homes. Okay. Talk about getting your house pregnant and having baby houses. You don't even need to get involved in real estate. You could be in this replace your mortgage group or replace your employer group, and you could be a passive investor investing in our deals. Okay. It's great. We have access to a Facebook group. Okay. So in this Facebook group for replace your employer, I'll pull that up real quick. But inside this Facebook group, this is where you're going to be able to solicit for deals. Okay. This is the replace your employer Facebook group, right? This is where you're going to be able to bring deals, raise money for deals, because there's people in here that have access to the equity in their home. And this is where we're going to build wealth together, guys. Okay. This is where it's at, right? So you got to be a subscriber with Replace Your Mortgage to get access to this, or with Replace Your University, but this is where it's at. Okay. Were you guys able to see that, Nate? Or when I shared that screen, did that come through?
You know, we didn't see the screen. At least I didn't see it on my end.
Okay, so I'll pull that up real quick. Here it is.
There, now it's coming. Yeah.
All right, so this is the Replace Your Employer Facebook group that I was telling you about, where you're going to be able to solicit and raise money for capital. Okay, and again, you got to be a subscriber to get access to this, and you also have to move forward with, you know, Nate's program to, you know, become a real estate investor. That's the advanced side of things. Okay. You will not have access to this in the beginner or the intermediate, but that's fine. If you want to move forward with us, you will have access to this. Okay. Guys, this is the pathway that I took to be able to get involved in real estate investing. It is very real. It is a pathway that you can achieve. The average person will get their first deal in 4 to 6 months. Okay, that's about the average. That's about the average time frame. You got to have the right mindset. You got to reach out for help, and you have to be involved. Okay, but this is very real, and it's achievable for everybody. So if you think that you're ready to see what it's like to be with Nate and I behind the scenes, okay, you just go to the advanced course and book a call with me, and I will show you behind the scenes, absolutely free for an entire week. All right.
Do it, guys. I've helped dozens of people replace their employer now. Edmund just bought his dream house, huge property. I mean, so many things can be accomplished just by jumping into real estate and letting other people do the work, and you reap the profits and bless so many lives as a result.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thanks, fellas. I think that was really good. One question I don't think, by the way, if you have questions for Nate or Edmund, go ahead and post them in the chat, please. But while we're waiting to see if we have any of those, I'll just tell you, one of the number one things that I get on the Replace Your Mortgage qualification calls when we're talking about real estate is there are people that are, obviously we're in an inflationary time, and, you know, pretty much everyone's market, especially, you know, I'm in the Nashville market, and we have people all over there, you know, Florida, Texas, a lot of these really, really hot markets, and pretty much everywhere, you know, prices are up. What do you guys have to say to the people that are saying, well, I'm just going to wait for the market to crash because I don't think I can make any money in a market that's so far up and inflated right now? What are your guys' remarks to that?
So a good investor takes advantage of the down times, right? So too many people, so everything you want is on the other side of fear, okay? And everybody fears the market going down and everything that's going on right now. That is when you need to be ready. That is when you need to have access to the equity in your home and go out there and pick these properties up, okay? It's not the time to seize up, okay? Back in 2008, do you think real investors were out there, you know, afraid? No, they literally had access to their money and was going out and getting properties 50 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, that's good. And Jeremy Newsom in the house, by the way, he says, in real estate, you make your money when you buy. If the numbers work, then the deals work. It's pretty straightforward. If you don't buy, then obviously you're not going to make any money in real estate.
Absolutely.
As with anything, any kind of investment like this, I mean, there's always a risk to it of some sort. Obviously, it's a calculated risk is the idea. And I can tell you from knowing Edmund and hearing him talk about his deals and a lot of what him and Nate have done. And I know Nate didn't really get into his portfolio, but Nate has a pretty large portfolio. He's also doing some commercial stuff as well. But these guys have been there and done it. And they will always say that it comes down to the numbers and do they work or do they not? It's not an emotional decision. It's a business decision. Either they fall within the parameters that you set for yourself or they don't. And if you know how to properly analyze that deal, it really takes a lot of the natural risk out of it because it's all identified. And that's the same thing with replace your mortgage. When we're talking about replace your mortgage, there's a reason why we do a qualification call with all of you before we allow you to sign up. Just as much as a lot of you were vetting us, we were vetting you because we need to make sure that this is truly the right move for you. And we had to run the numbers to make sure it was. And same thing in real estate. You don't just buy a house because you think it's a good flip or you think it's a good buy and hold. You buy a house as an investment only when you know the numbers are going to work out. And even your plan B is a good plan. So yeah, awesome stuff, guys. Thankful for you guys being a part of our community and huge resource and asset for our clients. Highly recommend you guys go check out Replace Your Employer on the Replace Your University dashboard. Absolutely any questions, hit up Edmund, schedule a call with him. It is a no pressure call. It's purely exploratory in nature. And then also, if you are not already logged into our dashboard, which by the way, to sign up for our dashboard is completely free for the basic sign up. You do not need to pay a dime. Just simply create a username, log in and get in there. And you can go ahead and schedule that discovery call. But even if you're afraid of doing that for whatever reason, on the front side of our site as well, there's a Replace Your Employer information page where Edmund does a nice promo video. And there is a button to book a discovery call there as well. So lots of ways to get a hold of Edmund and Nate. Yeah, again, just so thankful for you guys.